I want to spend a few minutes and I want to go through some social proof with you to show you whether or not our income systems work. And we have a recurring principle with what we do, and it is this. If you can give me your full attention for a minute, it's this. If you do what we show you to do, you'll make money. If you don't do what we show you to do, I can't promise you anything. I mean, it's really that simple. It's kind of like if you don't show up to work every day, you're not going to have a job. I mean, the level of simplicity is that simple. However, human beings, and perhaps you being one of them, have a tendency to actively seek out and or create excuses, reasons why things can't work. This is known as skepticism. I have yet to meet a single person in 21 years of showing people how to build businesses. I have yet to meet a single person who describes himself as a skeptic who ever built anything. Not one. The reason is because they are actively seeking out or creating reasons why it won't work. And ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately in business, your results depend on you. You get what you create. And when you're actively seeking out reasons why things won't work, you can come up with them. All you have to do is not work. All you have to do is not make that phone call. All you have to do is not contact that new lead. All you have to do is not follow up. All you have to do is not ask the right questions. I mean, it's really easy to be a failure. And the fact is, there is no such thing as failure. There's only lack of push through. And we show you how to do all that. But this is not a training video. What we want to do in this video is we want to go through and just look at some of the things. And these results I'm going to show you, we're going to start from present time and work backwards. I think I have a lot of screenshots here. I used to post these screenshots like every week. I'd post them in our Facebook group. And it just got to the point where after weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, it just became a time-consuming waste because everybody was already like, okay, I got it. The only people who don't got it are new people coming in who are just afraid to death to do anything to make any money. If you do what we show you to do, you're going to make money. But some of you are just too afraid. Some of you don't want to be successful. You just think it sounds good to tell people that. I don't know what's going on with a lot of people. But anyway, this is one of our income streams. This product actually is a product that allows us to build and share online sales funnels, really to sell anything we want. And I do use it to sell other things, but just this one income stream alone, in and of itself, that's what we're looking at here for the current week. Now, what I want to cover with you here is something that almost nobody tells you. And the reason they don't tell you this is because they're afraid. And what they're afraid of is they think that you're too afraid, that if they actually tell you the truth, you won't do anything. And what that is, if you look here, you see a $1,000 commission here. That's one sale. And you see two $400 commissions here. That's two sales. And probably one of these was the same person as did this. So really that's one sale. So total's two sales so far. And you see one $100 commission, which again is probably one of the same people. So what's the lesson here? The lesson here is the majority of the money with an online business comes on the back end with higher priced, higher commission products. Some of you guys are out there and you're promoting, it's only $12 one time. Put $12 in and make $300,000 in a year. Guys, this is complete and total bullshit. That's not happening. Okay? If you want to make serious income, you have to be serious about your business and about your life. This is a business. It's not a lottery machine. It's not a unicorn riding in with a pot of gold on his back. It's not a magic money tree that, rains cash down on you because you wished for it. It's a business. And the business model is important. So in addition to the social proof we want to share, I want to share with you that fact that most of the income comes on the back end from the higher end products. Now, some of you are going to say, well, I can't afford it. That's why you're broke. Because you continually say, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. And what do you have? You have a situation where you can't afford it. You are getting exactly what you've decided to get. Someone who really wants to make it happen would look at it and go, okay, good, I got to get myself positioned so I can do that. Well, how am I going to raise the money? It's the difference between cause and effect, right? It's the difference between someone who makes things happen and someone who waits for things to happen to them. And guys, I'm not making a character evaluation. You are more than welcome to be a victim for the rest of your life. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. All I'm saying is, if you actually want results, you're going to have to be the causative agent to make things happen. Now, required earnings disclosure. All these screenshots I'm going to go through with you, these are my personal results. These results do not guarantee that you're going to have the same results. Past results do not indicate future prediction of possibility for you or likelihood of income for you. We only get paid commission based on the sale of product or service. Then I'll show you one other thing. I have a number of different income streams. I really just want to focus on this one for now. I'll show you how to do all that too, if you're willing, if you're coachable. Right? And honest to God, guys, it's just not that hard. The biggest problem I have in 21 years of coaching people how to do this stuff is like, and it's not, I say 21 years, there's been a couple times there where I've had to start over, and that's just how business is. When you're an entrepreneur, sometimes shit happens and you got to start over. And that's part of the reason why you need to be the causative agent. I mean, there's been a few spots in there where I've actually had to go and get a job. You see, but you just don't quit. You just keep going. And so this is all part of the game. But, you know, I started 21 years ago in this business. And the one thing I've observed is the biggest problem is not that people don't have any money. It's not that they don't know how to market. It's not that they don't have any technical skills. It's none of this crap that people tell you. What it is people don't commit to themselves and make that decision that they're going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. And a lot of people, they get right up to the breaking point where it's about to bust open for them, and this is going to start happening for them, and they quit. I mean, it's astounding when you see thousands and thousands and thousands of people do the same thing. It's mind-boggling. You're like, why are they sabotaging themselves? Well, they just don't see it. So when you make that decision, you have that vision of what you want to accomplish, and then you go forth and you accomplish it. You make it happen. It takes courage. It doesn't necessarily take a lot of money. And so, again, you know, I'm required to tell you that these are exceptional results. These are my results. These don't guarantee the results that you're going to have. We don't pay a wage. This is all commission based on you selling products or, you know, selling. What does that even mean? There's none of this involved me on the phone going, yes, would you like this option or that option? I mean, none of this. The websites do all that stuff for us, okay? The websites do all the telling and selling. You work with me, most of it is just me doing all the telling and selling for you. There may be times when someone has a question and, you know, you need to call them back or whatever, but that's about as tough as that gets. So when I say selling, what I mean is a product has transferred in exchange for cash. That's what I mean. That's the only thing we get paid for. And your results could be way worse. And these results are not typical. So I think I've fulfilled my legal obligation there. So let's get to it. So you see here on this whole breakdown out of this roughly $2,500 for this week on this one income stream, that $1,800 of it has come from back-end higher priced product offerings, which are otherwise known as upsells. 72.5% of my income from this week came from the higher end back end products, the upsells. Now, had I not been positioned to take advantage of those, my pay for the week would have been $680. Now, here's what you got to get about this. It's the same amount of work. Like, it was no more work for me to get $2,500 than it would have been to get $680. And if we take this other 100 out and we just look at someone who is not at all positioned, because we have 3 upsell products here, And by the way, if you're one of those people who's like, oh, I hate it when they have upsells. You don't want upsells in your sales funnel? What are you, insane? That's where the money comes from. If you don't want upsells in your sales funnel, you don't know anything about marketing. That's crazy. Why would you want a sales funnel with no upsells? That's stupidity. I mean, come on. I'm showing you the data right here. Some of you guys need to just get your thoughts right because you're killing yourselves. You're keeping yourselves squashed down into poverty. We call it poverty mind. Sometimes people will come in and they'll just do this gold level and that's it. And all they would have earned was $580 that week with the same amount of work. That's what you have to get about this. It's not more work to get the more commission. It's the same amount of contacts. It's the same amount of promotion. Now, some of these, I got so many screenshots here. So I tried to keep them in order, but honest to God, there's so many. Every time I click a thing, they go out of order. I'll pull them off another screen here, okay? So here's another week. A little bit smaller of a week, just 1,800 that week for this one income stream. And again, what do we see here? We see well over half the income coming from the back end, higher priced product. What's this here? Yeah, the order's all out of whack, but it doesn't really matter. Here we have a $2,800 week. What do we see again? Half the income coming from the back end, higher priced product. Actually, two of them. You see, because it's 2,000 of that 2,800 came from upsells on the back end. It's not like people don't buy them. I'm trying to. I was trying to go recent to earlier, but the way these are stacked on top of each other, it's not going to work. So I guess the dates aren't that important. I mean, there's a ton of these guys. People are like, does it work? Well, why don't you like go do it? Then you'll know whether it works or not. I mean, it's not me that determines whether your business is going to work. It's you. It kills me when people say, does it work? It's you who does the work. Are you going to work? They might as well say, am I going to work? Like the websites, yes, they function as they're supposed to. The videos all work and everything, right? If you put people through them, right? If you're promoting and contacting people or buying ads and sending them through the sales funnel, yeah, it works. But if you do nothing, no, it's not going to work because it's you who does the work, you see? Sometimes people think I'm overly blunt, and, I'll acknowledge that. But here's the thing. I'm not really looking to make friends. I'm looking to get you into a better condition. That's all I care about. I don't care if you hate me. I just want you to do well. And I get irritated with people because I watch them sabotage themselves. You can imagine a friend of yours hitting himself in the head with a hammer and crying about the pain. And you're like, well, why don't you just stop hitting yourself with the hammer? And he's like, I can't. I have to. I mean, this is the level of think that a lot of people are using with this stuff. Stop hitting yourself with the hammer. Take the brakes off, guys. Let yourself accomplish something. So this week, $2,000 week, we see here what? 1,275 of that, well over 50%, comes from the back end, higher ticket products. And this is an older one, and this is before we had our $1,000 commissions, but even so, on this nearly $1,800 week, you see what? 600, 700 and something came from the higher ticket back end products. This $1,800 week, we see again over 1,000 of it from the higher end, back end, higher commission products. So right now, all those of you who are out there and your product's, $25 and you get a $12 commission or whatever it is, or, you're selling vitamins and it's like, I get $4.80 per active auto ship in my weaker leg. Guys, come on. I mean, honest to God, who in that organization is really getting paid? There's like 2 or 3 guys way at the top who've been doing it for 8 years. Everyone else is like barely covering their auto ship, if at all. Those things are so almost impossible to make money with. Now, I've done those. And I've done those based solely on the product quality and what the product accomplished. And I can do that, but it's just way harder and it takes way longer. And there's been times when I've been like, it doesn't matter. The product is too important. It's helping too many people. That's okay. And I use stuff like this to really make money. And then I would build the other ones kind of on the side part-time. And they would build up eventually over time. And they'd be pretty good. But I mean, this right here, this particular one that you're looking at, for me, it took me about 6 weeks to go from zero to a six-figure annualized income with. 6 weeks. I mean, show me how to do that in a typical MLM. I don't know how you do that. So let's look at this one. $1,700 for the week. Look, 1,125 of it from back end, higher ticket, upsell products. $1,700 week. Let's see, $750, $850 of it, about half from the back end, higher ticket products. Almost $2,200 for the week here. What do we have? $1,425 of that $2,185. Again, way over half from the higher ticket back end product upsells. Smaller week, $1,500. Okay. Well, still, $1,050 of that $1,500 was from the higher ticket back end product upsells. You see a trend? It's the same amount of work, guys. This is what so many of you are missing. You're trying to economize. You're trying to save money. You're trying to hold all the money in. And in the course of doing that, you're costing yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars because you're not willing to do what's necessary to actually get your business established. You don't have a business because you can't make money on all this other stuff. It'd be like if you owned a McDonald's and the only thing you could make money on were fries. But if anyone bought burgers or soda or shakes or sundaes, you didn't get paid on that. You had to give all that away for free. You're squashing yourself. This week, smaller week, $1,492. See, I show you the smaller weeks too. And we could sit here all day because there's hundreds and hundreds of these. By the way, this program, these guys pay on time every time. They've never been late. They've never missed a payment. I've never had to contact support saying, hey, my money's wrong. It's always been correct. Probably the only company in my entire 20 years that I haven't had issues like that. $1,500 for the week. Again, $850 of it came from higher ticket, back end upsell. Same amount of work, double the money. Just short of $1,700 this week. We see 1,000 of it, well more than half from higher ticket, back end, upsell products. 1,935 this week. Again, $962.50, about half from higher ticket, back end, upsell products. $2,750 week, and we see $2,250 of it, all but $500. I mean, what is that? 70% from higher ticket, back end products. I have people on my team, guys, literally who are positioned only at this gold level, and in this situation would have made $500 with the same exact amount of new business, of new people coming in. And I would show them the screenshot, and they go, God dang, I only made $500. What am I doing wrong? They're doing the exact same thing I am. It's exactly the same. The only difference is they don't have their business established. They're not getting these. Hate to beat a dead horse, but for some reason, people don't want to accept this. People want to think like, I could start a business and make a whole bunch of money without putting any money in. No, you can't. That's called a job. Now, I got some things, and someone comes to me and they're like dead ass broke. I'm like, I don't have 80 cents. All right, go look at this thing. But that's, honest to God, that's about 1,000 times harder to build your way up. You build your way up with a couple $100, put that back into your business, right? It's going to be like hundreds of times more work. You can do it. It's just way harder. You're better off just going and raising the money or borrowing the money. Just get the money together. Go stand on a street corner and ask people for $10 all day long until you got enough money to do it. Get it from a friend. Put it on a credit card. I don't care. I'm telling you this for your own benefit. Otherwise, you spend all this time, you make all these contacts, you do all this promotion. People even spend money on ads, and they don't get enough money back to cover the ads. And they go, oh, it's a scam. It doesn't work. No, what's not working is you're trying to do it in a way that's just not workable. It's you. I mean, I can only show you so many dozens of these screenshots before you have to get to a point where, okay, I guess it works. I guess it's me. And it is you. So this $2,000 week, we see $1,250 of it came from back end, higher ticket, upsell, product sales. $2,500 week, $1,316.75 of it. Again, way more than half from these back end products. Here's about a $2,000 week here. Again, what do we see? $975 of it. That's maybe a little over half. Again, from the higher priced back end products. It's $2,600 week, $1,600 of it. Way more than half from the higher priced back end products. Same amount of work as someone who would have earned only $1,016 that week, just because I'm positioned. Almost $1,800 week here. We see $1,225 of it. What's that? About 2/3 of it from higher price back end product upsells. $4,200 this week, and it looks like about $3,725 of it. I mean, that's a big percentage, guys. $3,725 divided by 4,201. That's like 88 to 89% of the income for the week is from those back end products. Had I not been positioned, I would have made $476. It's like $476 a week or $4,200 a week. Which one do you want? I mean, if you made this every week, that's over $200,000 a year. Again, these are my results. These I'm not telling you you're going to make this. I'm just showing you my results alone. My results are not typical. They're exceptional. I do have other students on my team, by the way, who do this. It's not just me. But I'm required to tell you that these are not typical. These are exceptional. And, just personally, why couldn't you do this? I don't know why you couldn't do it. I don't know why people don't. I don't know why people come in. People come in with this $7 product. I only have $7. Okay, great. So you can make $6 commission per customer. So instead of making $2,000 for the week, I'd have made $6. That's great. To me, it just seems like you're not being a friend to yourself, right? And if you don't have enough confidence in yourself to just go raise the money to start a business, I mean, we're not talking about $500,000 here. We're talking about, $500 to $2,000, something like that, to start an online business like this. I mean, it ain't that much money. Most of you got enough crap around the house you could sell on eBay and make that much money. So in this $2,000 week, look, 1,612 of it from higher ticket back end upsells. This week, $2,700, almost $2,800 week. We see 2,250 of it. I mean, almost the whole thing comes from higher ticket back end upsells. By the way, guys, when you do this, it opens up your whole promotional, all your promotional possibilities, because now you can afford to pay to advertise. You see, without these commissions, I'm only making this, and my advertising may cost that much. Maybe not, but it might. Hell, it might cost more than this much. But when I have these higher commissions on the back, I can now afford to advertise. I used to tell my team, look, guys, unless you're all the way in, unless you have full platinum status, meaning you can earn those $400 commissions on this level here, I'm not even going to let you participate in the co-op, because we run team co-ops where I coordinate advertising. I rotate them in with a rotator link, okay? Because I didn't want to see them spend money and not make it back. I've since lightened up on that, and the reason I've lightened up is because I realize a lot of these people, they are online marketers. They have lots of other products that they do, and they can monetize those leads in other ways, and it was kind of restricting them. But I still advise, if you don't have some way to monetize that better, you shouldn't be spending money on ads. You just stick with our free methods, which we teach you inside. If you do what we show you to do, you make money. And if you don't, you don't. $1,500 week, smaller week here, but we see $1,300 of the $1,538 from the higher ticket back end upsells. Some people look at this and go, oh, I couldn't possibly come up with the money to do that. And then they just quit and go away. All right. I mean, you can stay broke if you want. This doesn't affect me too much. I'm here for you guys. I want to see you do it. And honestly, if your mentality, if the way you look at things is so defeatist, is so self-defeatist, that's how you think, I don't know that you really deserve to make money, to be honest with you. Because the money's going to come to those people who earn it. You're going to have to look at, I would say someone in that position, maybe you need to get on a regimen where you're listening to Grant Cardone 24 hours a day. You're listening to Dan Pena and his Quantum Leap Advance lectures 24 hours a day. Or you're listening to Les Brown 24 hours a day. Or Jim Rohn or something like that. Get yourself on a steady diet of that stuff. Because what's happening is you're surrounded by people in your environment who have self-defeatist thinking. And it's keeping them poor and it's keeping you poor. And you're picking up on this agreement of that group. And it's holding you down. Sometimes you got to get new friends, guys. You got to look at, well, what kind of value is that friend to me? Are they tearing down or are they building up? They always have something negative to say. They're always looking for some catch or something that's like going to make it not work. Well, that's why it's not working for them. So you have to take some responsibility for your environment. You see? That's what I would recommend for those people. Again, another smaller week here, only 1,500, but you see 700, almost half of it from the higher end back upsells on the back end. $1,700 week, $1,350 of it from back end upsells, higher ticket. I'll save that one. Here's another smaller week, only 1,200, but what do we see? 650 of it, about half from the back end, higher ticket upsells. This is kind of a typical, $2,000 a week or something with this program, but again, we see out of this 1955, 525, almost 1,000. Oh, this is where we started having our $1,000 commissions. That came in not too long ago, which is great because now we have $1,000 commissions. It's kind of like, how many $1,000 commissions do you need a week to be able to quit your job? Most people, it's not that many. By the time you add in the lower end commissions, it's like 2 or 3 for most people. So you can see this week, 2,000 just in that 1 week, but this is one sale. It's probably one of these, and this, we're probably all one person because this 400, that's one commission for one product sale. This 50 is an override from someone in my group who sold one of those. So the $1,000 commissions come in, and that starts to change things. And one of the things that starts to change is the overall income because, when that starts happening, you have weeks like this. Now, this week, I had 5 of those sales. 3 of my direct referrals had sales on that. They may all have been the same person. I'm not really sure. But you can see in a $6,000 week here, 5,600 of it was all back end, the highest possible price point, the highest possible commission level. Now, had I not been qualified on this product, and this product's, I think it's $14.97. That's the price on that product. But had I not qualified on that product, had I not purchased that so that I could resell it, it's an amazing product, by the way. It teaches you how to get traffic. There's 7 or 8 different long-time established internet marketers in there show you exactly what they do to get their traffic. It's really worth the price because that is, in fact, the fuel that drives your business. But instead of having a $6,000 week, I would have had what? $386. I can't even pay my bills on $386. So you start to see the power of the higher end, back end commissions. And even on lower weeks, right? Because this isn't the only thing I promote. I spend a lot of time promoting other things. I'm actually not even promoting this right now. This video is the first promotion I've done on this in months, but we see here in the $1,700 week, good. Look, 1,000 of it is just that one sale. 1,500 of it, that 1,700, is all back end, higher priced, higher ticket offers. Here's before we had the $1,000 commissions, a $2,800 week. We see well over half of it is from those back-end commissions. $2,700 week, we see $3,250 of it is from back-end, higher priced commissions. 1945 week, we see, good look, out of 1945, one sale is $1,000 of that. Same amount of work, double the money, triple the money, quadruple the money. You're like, work smart, not hard. So 1450 of 1945, all from back end, higher priced upsells. 2480, decent week, 1800, 1900 of it from higher price back end upsell. That's almost the whole thing. I mean, without those, I have what? I have like a typical U.S. wage job earning. This week, 2,300, almost 2,400. Again, $1,000 commission, two $400 commissions. So that's 1850, 1950, 2,000 of the 2,390 came from the back end. People don't tell you. You go around to these programs and you fill out these forms, and people don't tell you this. They tell you, oh, it's only $25, right? And you get in and you're like, okay, I paid my $25. Let's get rich. And you're like, oh, the next product's $500. Oh, the next product's $3,000. Oh, the next product's $10,000. Dang. I mean, why not just understand it and just do what you need to do to make it happen? It's not like, sitting around watching TV and continuing to show up for work at Jiffy Lube is going to get you there. At some point, you're going to have to make a decision, guys. Now, as I said earlier, this system here, this income stream, is literally a web system that we use to build online sales funnels. If you don't know what that is, it's like there's an offer page. The person puts their name, email, and phone in because they want info, and that captures their data so we can communicate with them, and then it sends them to a video or a page with the information. Then it emails them the information. It continues to follow up with them on a daily basis, and we invite them to webinars and stuff like that. So all the pages, all the sales pages, all the material, videos like the one you're watching now, those are all built into the system, you see. And using this system, we have the ability to share those with people. So when you come in, you plug a code in, boom, the whole sales funnel is built for you. You're all plugged in. You don't have to build any of that stuff. That's why we tell people it doesn't matter if you're technically challenged. Like, those things have been handled the last 5 or 6 years online. There's plug-and-play systems. But like I said, we use that system to sell other things, okay? And I don't want to spend all day here, but one of the things that we have a product that I use the system to sell, and I'm trying to look at the dates on these so they're in sequence, but maybe more difficult. Anyway, this is one of the products. So here's $940 in commission for that week, and this is for a really great product. It's now called Numedia. It's 2,800 streaming TV channels. People replace their cable. It's $49.95 a month. I mean, they get to try it for 2 weeks for free. They don't even have to enter payment information. It's like the no-brainer of all no-brainers. If they don't like it, they don't keep it. If they like it, they keep it. We get paid every month on their cable bill. It's the easiest thing in the universe. Well, we'll lead with that, and then the people who want to build that as a business, right, because they want to earn from that too, we just plug them into the sales funnel. We've got the sales funnel all built within the Power Lead system here, which is what I've been showing you, okay? So here's another week from June. It's $2,200 for that week. Here's the next week was $900. Here's the next week was $950. This was just 3 days later, $1,300. And this was the next week, another $1,200 from that. So that's a different product, a different income stream, but we're running it through the same system, the system here, you see. So everything fits together. And there's more income streams and stuff like that, but you get the point, right? So I just wanted to address, like, some of you are so afraid. You're like a scared little rabbit, down in your hidey hole. I don't want to reach out and do anything. I might get whomped by the coyote or whatever. I mean, I don't get what people are so afraid of. You know, at some point you got to make a decision. Damn it, I'm going to do something about my situation. Like, this is my situation. I'm not paying my bills. I'm not saving any money. I'm not investing anything. I can't pay for the kids' college, right? Like, what do? We help you pay for your kids' college. You know, we help you get money to invest. We help you build up so that you can actually have a retirement instead of being a Walmart greeter when you're 87 years old, right? There has to be a point where you go, something needs to be done about this. And then there's got to be a point where you recognize, oh, well, yeah, there is something that can be done about it. And then once you realize that, the next part is like, okay, I demand improvement for myself, right? Like, I have to do something about this right now. And that's where you begin to get serious about doing stuff. And you start looking at it like, you know, a business-minded person instead of a victim. And you start going, well, how am I going to raise the money? Instead of, I don't have the money. Because, guys, you know what? It's so easy for you to just make that an excuse. I don't have the money. I can't do nothing. Okay, spend the rest of your life broke if you want. I mean, golly. I mean, it doesn't hurt me. It hurts you and your family and your kids and everyone who has to deal with you. They don't want to ask you, hey, you want to go do this? No, they don't ask you because they know you're broke as shit. They're tired of listening to your excuses and paying for you, right? I mean, I'm generalizing, but you get the idea. Like, what has to happen in your life before you make the decision? You actually do something about it. For some people, they have to have tragedy. You know, someone they love has to die. They got to get removed from their home by the police. And they got to go to jail. I mean, for some people, it has to be that severe before they wake up. And what I hope is that, like, I can impinge enough with these videos and, you know, between phone calls and stuff like that, where I can actually get you to wake up enough to realize, hey, I can do something about this. Because the fact is, you can do something about it. You may not do what I do, but maybe you would. Maybe you'd do better. Maybe you'd do worse. If you just did 10% of what I do, for most of you, that'd be a big boost. I mean, it'd be an extra $248 a week, probably wouldn't kill you. That'd be 10% of what I do, right? What if you did half of what I do? What if you did 5% of what I do? That'd still be an extra $500 a month. That'd probably help, wouldn't it? See, you got to start looking at things like, how do I make this happen? Here's the first step. Here's the next step. Here's what I do. And so, depending on where you're watching this video, unless you're watching on YouTube, chances are you're going to see a button below this, or below this you're going to see some sort of longer report that explains all what we do and how to make this happen. Take the time and go through that. And maybe you got to click a button and fill in your email or something like that, but take the time and go through that, and you'll see how all this works. Also, feel free to reach out to me. Send me a text. Send me an email. If you got to talk to me, honestly, most of the stuff is available. Most of the answers to all the questions are all available on the web pages where you might find this. If you're watching on Facebook, for example, you may have to click a link to get to it or whatever. But I may say, that's a good question. It's actually answered here, and I may direct you to a website just because there's too many people for me to call every person. Right? It doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means I can't take the time to do that forever because I'll never get anything done. Here and there are people who legitimately need to have a phone conversation because what they need to know just isn't covered in the materials. Okay. Now, one of the last things I want to show you, right, we have this training section because people will say, they'll use this as an excuse. I don't know how to promote. Promote just means to make something known. In any business, you have to promote. And this is what kills me a lot of the time, is people will use the I don't know how to promote as an excuse to not start. But then they'll keep looking. They'll keep looking for opportunities. And so you got to realize, like, no matter what your product is, guys, you still got to promote. There's no way to avoid promotion. I mean, that just has to be there. So you jumping from one company to another, from product to product, that's not going to solve your I don't know how to promote problem. Well, what we've done is we've really ended that. Okay. First of all, Master Traffic Institute, that's probably the highest level of education on how to get online traffic that you could possibly get anywhere. Okay. Endless free leads. This is included as a bonus for free. This is the social media free promotion method, how you generate leads and get signups using social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. It's totally free. Now, that course usually sells for about $500. It's $497 if you go off and you just buy Endless Free Leads 2017. And I'm sure they'll come out with the 2018 soon enough. But if you just go buy it, it's going to be $497. If you come in, you work with our group, you get it as a bonus for free. That's mastery level social media promotion, getting leads and signups from social media. Okay, Social Profit Academy. This has to do with paid Facebook advertising and doing marketing via that venue. Multi-millionaire Jeff Mills, Facebook phenom, teaches that course. I mean, this stuff is invaluable, right? So, and then in the training area, we've got all manner of education to show you how to do that. In addition to the private resources that we have, our team resources. I have a private team resources site, a mentoring site that you plug into when you're a member of the team. Walks you through all your setup steps, click by click on the screen. You watch what I do, you click that, you pause the video, you go do it, right? So even if you're the dumbest of dummies when it comes to technology, you get all set up and you're ready to go. So if you recall in the beginning, I said, look, there really are no excuses. I mean, you can kind of pretend, yeah, I can't do it. I mean, it's like, kind of wink, wink sort of thing. Okay, you can't do it. That's cute, right? But I mean, honestly, you really don't have any excuses, guys. I mean, it's like your wife's giving you shit because you're broke all the time. I mean, I guess if you're in a game with her where you have to be right, and you want to pretend like there's nothing you can do about it, it's fine. I get it. Okay. But honestly, it's all here for you. Anything you need to make it happen is here. It's just a question of you being willing to do something about your situation and applying it. So with that, thank you for listening. Hopefully that handles some of the uncertainty, some of the concerns some of you have. Go ahead and click the link or the button or fill out the form or wherever you're watching this so you can get to the rest of the report so you can go through all that data. If you have any questions for me, I'll put my contact info here. You can reach out to me, send me a text, send me an email, reach out to me on Facebook. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, cool. All right, we'll talk real soon.